Morton. Before I start, I have a quick question. How many of you guys want to buy Cisco's products? Raise your hand. Okay, let's see if we can improve one. After this long time case study, I think we all know what is Cisco and how successful it has been. So why it is so successful? What we assume is they have a unique approach to manage their human resource. They hire people who fit in with their culture and keep those people in Cisco. And they rapidly bring new products to their markets with new technologies. Cisco always puts their culture first. Success runs parallel with culture. So what is Cisco's culture? Our team believes that maintaining a continuous feedback from their customer and the attitude to customer already become a part of themselves. And Cisco's employee always be openness and honesty. They emphasize on team building, and this together make them work as an employee. However, even a successful company like Cisco had faced a lot of challenges. So what kind of challenge they had facing when they tried to merge entrepreneurs in a corporation? We all know people from different culture behave differently, like this church here. So the deeper communication for them is a big problem. Entrepreneurs are very hard to compromise. They have different opinions. When they try to merge company into a corporation, the construction of the company will change, and the operation system may not work as well as it before. So how to rearrange the organization for them is critical. And Cisco is different from other companies. The technology and products needs to be refreshed all the time, frequently. So how to merge the company fast enough before the products run out of time is also a big challenge. I will pass out the rest of the presentation to my teammates, Peter.
Thank you, Juan. Adding on to what Juan was saying, Cisco's success can be attributed to its culture and systemic innovation. So Cisco has a very well-defined process for bringing the new products into the market. If you have a look at the chart here, they have something called planning metrics. It helps them to identify the emerging markets. They then move on to the next phase, which is whether they need to produce the product in-house or to make an acquisition. If they decide to go ahead with an acquisition, they identify an acquisition target. Then the next process is business development process, followed by HR screening, where they compare the cultural compatibility, and then there's integration, and finally the product is ready to be sold. Looking at the chart, we know that the system looks quite simple, but how successful has it been? Well, a company's success can be determined by looking at the financial statements. So if you look at the chart here, the revenue has been increasing consistently with the increase in acquisition. So this to an extent shows us that Cisco's culture has been successful. Well, the system looks quite simple and it's profitable. So why isn't any other company copying it? Next slide. Well, Team 1 believes that Cisco's culture can be imitated, but it's very difficult to do so because Cisco has the culture established over a long period of time. So it's very hard for the new company to copy it in like a short span of time. And moving on, they have a very generic system, like they have a very well-defined process to hire the best people from the industry, and also they make acquisitions very specific. And moreover, Cisco has roped in lots of industry leaders to work for them. They are the people who run the company, and they also have a small business mentality in them. So that's one of the reasons for their success.
20 seconds left, guys.
And moving on, Cisco has been successful in the business B2B model, but how successful can they be in the consumer market? Well, we as a team believe that Cisco will face many challenges because they have competition from the household names like Microsoft and Apple, and very few people in the consumer market know what Cisco does and what it sells.
Okay, gotta stop. Okay, great. So where are the other
guy's been eating a lot of chow for sure. The rest of the team. Okay, this is all team one, right?
Yeah.
Team one. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna ask you maybe, since you didn't get to finish, I'm gonna ask you a little bit more about Cisco's challenges in the consumer market. So what we learned in the case is that Cisco used a very specific acquisition methodology to acquire companies in its core market. What differences would they try, do you think they would have to do in their acquisition strategy? This is a very tough question, right? And I'll ask some of you to think about it, but it's a very real thing, and this is something they've had to grapple with. What would be different when you acquire a company not in your core market, where you have all of your strength and all of your foundation, but when you go to the outside and the periphery? Anything different about the M&A strategy that you think they would have to do?
You mean the consumer market?
Yeah, yeah. If they were now no longer going to acquire in their traditional market that they've been in for 20 years, but to do an acquisition in the consumer market, anything that you think would change in the acquisition strategy or process?
I personally believe that, the consumer market is very much price sensitive, so that would be the main key, because the products, maybe they change quicker than they do in the B2B market.
Okay.
So that would be the thing which they need to look out for.
Okay. All right, and I'm not going to respond right now, and I may ask it a few more times, so I don't want to give away the answer. That's a part of it for sure, okay? Can you talk about any example where Cisco's acquisition strategy was not as successful as it was historically? Is there any one or two examples? I know they were in the case. There were one or two that didn't work out quite as well. Can you identify one and answer one?
I think that's probably the supply chain thing in Kaplan, I think it is.
Okay, so Kaplan, and you're saying it was a supply chain issue?
Yes, that's what I thought.
Okay, all right, very well done, Tina. Good job.